We're back with NBA analysts Alex Ofori and Chris Edwards. Guys, the regular season is underway. Let's talk some basketball. First question, the Indiana Pacers are 8-0 so far. The question is, are they better than the Miami Heat?
I think right now they definitely are ahead of the Heat and the rest of the league, really. I mean, you look at it, they clearly have the top defense. They're only allowing 84.5 points a game. And then also they have the best point differential in the NBA. It's at 10.4 right now, which if they held that mark up, it would be one of the best of all time. Mm-hmm. But I also think that in the long run, the Heat, they have this guy, LeBron James, who can do a couple things on the basketball court. And I think at the end of the day, talent sort of finds a way to push through.
I agree with you. Miami is talented, but going back to the question, Indiana is definitely the better team than Miami right now. Now, are they going to go to the NBA Finals, going to be number one seed? I can't tell you. It's only been 8 games. But what I can tell you is that they're 8-0, franchise history, now allowing an opponent to shoot better than 40%. Only 2 other teams did that. Both were Boston Celtics teams, both in the 60s, both won NBA championships. Both pretty well. The thing that separates, for me, what separates the Pacers from Miami is how defensive-minded this team is and how set they are to beat the number one seed. They came into the season on a business approach. We are going to be the number one seed, and you can see just from the 8-0 record that they're going to do that. I mean, look, Paul George is becoming a superstar. He's going to be an MVP talk, and Hibbert, West, great defensive players. Hibbert's averaging 5 blocks a game. 5. That is ridiculous. Defensive-minded team,
numbers.
Pacers have the opportunity to beat Miami if they meet them again.
In a league that severely lacks defense, I think the Pacers take pride in that side of the court.
Oh, absolutely.
That's very important.
Yeah.
The Brooklyn Nets were projected to be a big-time threat in the Eastern Conference, but really hasn't panned out so far. Will it pan out going forward?
Oh, it'll definitely pan out going forward. I mean, again, beginning of the season, they're 2-4. They've been hampered by injuries like Darren Williams had the ankle injury. Right now, Karolinko has a back spasm problem. The thing that they need to fix is chemistry. Like Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, everyone's been saying the same thing. We just need to figure things out, and they will. And once they figure those things out, everything's going to be a little bit smoother. Now, one thing that they do need to address, and this is something hopefully chemistry will fix, is their scoring. Kevin Garnett, 6 points a game. Joe Johnson, 13 points a game. Darren Williams, 11 points a game. Jason Terry, 6. Paul Pierce, 14. That is not going to get you far in the playoffs. I will guarantee you will get knocked out the first round. They need to up their scoring now.
Yeah, and I also think with the new coach in charge, Jason Kidd over there, he really has a tough job as far as learning how to manage the minutes. Because right now he's got KG. They're clearly trying to conserve him for the playoffs, but he's only playing 23.2 minutes a game, which is the lowest mark of his career. And right now he's also shooting around 32% from the field, which is just god-awful.
Yeah, that is just terrible.
Yeah, I think they need to give him some more minutes, let him, sort of build a rhythm. And then as far as Darren Williams, he's, his numbers aren't exactly where you'd want them to be, but he's also coming off that injury, so he's sort of working himself back into shape, missed a lot of preseason. And I think as, they all sort of get acclimated, we could see some of the 15, 18 points a game, maybe upwards of 10 assists with Darren Williams and the new weapons he has around him.
Yeah, the opportunity is definitely there, and the coaching situation is a key factor in this. I mean, this dude's just like a new coach. I mean, 1 year, come on.
Jason Kidd was a phenomenal player, smart player. He's going to make a good coach, but it's not going to happen immediately. I agree. I think going forward will be a lot smoother. Now let's move to the Midwest in Chicago, where the expectations could not be higher with the return of Derrick Rose. What can we expect from the Bulls this year?
And I think, Derrick Rose clearly still shaking off Russ. He's near the top of the league in turnovers. He's only averaging 4.5 assists, 33% from the field. But, he said himself he usually, plays year-round. I mean, he plays a lot of basketball in the summer. He hasn't been able to do all that in the past year. So I know time will help fix it. And as he gets more acclimated, the defense is already there for the Bulls. So once their offense comes up to match that, I think you're going to see him being a top 3 team in the East, and Derrick Rose will be back in the MVP discussion.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's literally give them time. I mean, Rose is just coming off the injury. He kind of strained his hamstring last night, so that's not looking too good for the Bulls. But if you give him time, Rose is going to shake off the rust. He'll be back up there. And like you said before, the offense needs to catch up with the defense. They're second in defense right now, but 27 in offense. That's not really, really good.
Not going to get it done.
It's not going to get it done. But like you said before, I don't see him as a top 3 team, though. I see him like top 4, top 5, and I don't see him going past like the first round because I feel like, or like the second round. No, excuse me, second round because I feel like if they face the Pacers are going to just demolish them. They're bigger, they're faster. I mean, that's the only argument I have against.
Yeah,
the Wizards
with what I saw last year, they were 4 or 5 seed in the playoffs without Derrick Rose. So I think they can keep up that level of play around him. They can definitely secure themselves a higher seed, avoid a team like that earlier on.
Oh, absolutely.
The good news is Derrick Rose has, while obviously there's some rust there, it's not like he's a totally different player. I think he'll be fine going forward. All right, we'll take a quick break, but stay tuned. Football is next on One-on-One Sports.